if you're not, doing what you're supposed to do with your kids, then how's the future gonna work?
But opponents see it as an assault on poor families.
I like motivation, but the motivation here is to take away breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Time to let her on the panel tonight. She's a wife and mother of 3 children who has just been warned by the state of Michigan that her welfare benefits are about to be cut off because her children have been absent from school too much. Regina Boyd is here. Next to her, a man who says that the purpose of this new rule is not to punish families, it's to encourage parents to keep their kids off the streets and in the classroom. State Rep Chuck Moss is back with us tonight. And so too is activist, organizer, and the chair of the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, Maureen Taylor. She says the new rule is unfair. Plus, lawyer, reporter, morning radio host on 1270 AM, Charlie Langton. We thank you all for being here. Now, later we'll tackle the pros and cons of Proposal 1, but starting Monday, families whose children do not attend school will have their welfare benefits cut off. If your child has 10 or more unexcused absences in a year, your entire family could be cut off. And Regina, you just got a letter from the state saying that as of November 1st, your benefits will be cut.
Yes.
What happened?
A big mix-up. First of all, I had a fire. DTE neglected to change my wire from the pole to the house. We had a fire. From there, I moved, and they considered me to be homeless in order to get a ride from my home to the school. And I kept that up for a year. And from there, basically, they told me they couldn't give my children a ride. I have a resource student and a special education student.
How old are your kids?
I have a 12-year-old. He's an honor student. He went from the 6th grade to the 8th grade with 8 honors, principal's list. I have a 11-year-old. She was struggling. Her teacher, she retired early due to illness, but she still struggled and did what she needed to go to the 5th grade. I have a 8-year-old. He struggles, but he's there every day. And every day he's not there, we have an absence excuse because he is very sickly. So they have no issues with me getting them to school. I have the issues because the bus terminal is at my corner, and I had to argue with them and wonder why they could pass my home up to get to the other children in the neighborhood without picking my children up, because they have to pass us up first.
Well, Chuck, I know that the law is not meant to punish families like Regina Boyd's family, but the law as applied may be hurting families like hers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, it sounds to me like what you said is that it's a mistake. Your kids have been going to school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I understand that the Welfare Rights Organization here can help you with that. But the idea is not to punish kids who have been going to school, and there's a mix-up there. But the kids need to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 days, that's two weeks out of the school. The children need to be going to school. And if you're getting the welfare benefits, which are paid for the taxpayers, and that's money they work very hard for, and it's taken from them, and we want to see at least that the kids go to school. The absenteeism rate in Detroit is very bad, and until the kids can get education, how are they going to get out and make something of themselves?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not meant to punish people, but if your kids aren't getting to school, and I guess yours are, like you say, that's a mix-up. But if the kids aren't getting to school, they're not getting an education. And that's just not acceptable. I mean, particularly children that were in had to fight to get this kind of education opportunity.
Well, Maureen, there were, 4,600 unexcused absences, truant students in Detroit public schools last year. Now, many people say, the majority of people that talk to us, black and white, say it's about time. Parents need to be more responsible.
I wonder what it is that poor, particularly welfare mothers, have done to encourage this level of hatred, this level of angst, this level of being targeted for programs and whatnot that always talk about punishment. I never can figure out what it is that welfare mothers have done to make so many people hate us, to hate them. I'm not finished. And I say that because over and over again, this particular program appears to be a program that is targeting a specific section. If we're looking for truancy, let's look for truancy issues and support and foundations on why kids don't go to school across the board. Why is it that we continue to pick welfare mothers? They're already under attack, already don't have enough money, already problems and whatnot. This young lady is probably just the tip of the iceberg. And clearly, this is another insidious, not well thought out program, and this is an attempt to try to raise this stereotype once again. And welfare mothers, we don't like our children. We don't value education. We don't believe that education is a way out of poverty. We're lazy, and we don't want to send our kids to school. At the end of the day, what we're talking about is that slogan that keeps coming up. The only good welfare recipient is a dead welfare recipient. And clearly, that's not the message here. Every child should be protected. And if there's 2 weeks that a kid is not in school, what we should be doing is spending the resources and the energy to go there and find out why. Yeah. That's what we should be doing. Instead of this broad brush approach, all the welfare recipients, let's look at them. Let's start broad brushes with elected officials. Endless scandals, problems all over the place. Let's go find pedophile priests. Are they all bad? All the legislature's bad? And we continue to deal with this from the wrong side of the court.
Charlie, you have also covered this issue on your show, and this is an emotional issue.
Well, it's an extremely emotional issue, but I think what Maureen is forgetting about is that the people that are paying the welfare benefits are the people that are working. This is money from the state of Michigan for our tax money that's going to pay for welfare. I think the issue here is really truancy. We want people to go to school, and I think everyone would agree, the more education you have, the better the opportunity you have to make more money and to avoid welfare.
We absolutely agree. But if that was the case, why didn't this wonderful man here come up with a plan that says what we need to do is to find welfare recipients and say, listen, we're going to help you and make certain that your kids get to school. Why didn't you look for truancy everywhere?
My turn to talk.
Your turn.
Because the problem here is that it's unfortunately it's in Detroit and with welfare people, they're not getting the kids to school.
Welfare recipients are not getting people to school. Other people are getting their kids to school.
But they're not the ones that are getting paid.
See, the message,
listen to this.
The message is that welfare recipient children are not going to school. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Yes, you did. Now, here's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Is that this money is being paid by taxpayers. This money is being paid by people that
I'm a taxpayer.
That's right, ma'am. And I promise not to interrupt me. Is that
Go ahead. I didn't promise that.
It isn't your money, ma'am.
Yeah, it is my money.
No, it isn't.
I'm a taxpayer.
It's other people's money too.
I'm a taxpayer.
And they want the children to get to school.
And I want the children to go to school too, but I don't want you to target just welfare recipients.
But it's my money. I want it to be paid to school.
I don't want you to target just welfare recipients. How dare you say and suggest that welfare recipients are the only ones that are not going to school?
Why are you objecting then?
Because I want all the children to go to school, don't you?
But let's start with the ones that need the help.
Well, let's start with the ones that need the help.
Let's listen to this. Let's listen.
Yes. Look, of course, we love talking to our panel.
It's not just my kids.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, have you ever had to live off welfare, sir?
Ma'am, I've been poor.